How's it going, guys? I'm Chris.
I'm Jasmine.
We're Responsible Vegan.
And today we're gonna share a fun video with you guys. So if you're new to our channel, Chris and I share recipes, lifestyle, tips, vlogs, everything in between pertaining to veganism and just our life in general. So welcome to our channel. And for those of you who are returning, welcome back to another video, even though we just said that. So what are we doing today, babe?
We are making healthy baked chips 3 different ways. So if you have seen my Instagram content recently, I'm doing a healthy challenge where I eat really clean for, not really clean, but cleaner than I have for about 30 days until I turn 30. So snacking is very near and dear to my heart, and having a healthy option is definitely important for me. So we have 3 different healthy chip options here.
So we're making 3 different chips today. We're making a ranch style kale chip with like a cashew sauce. It's really good. And then some homemade baked vegetable chips. And these are actually oil free. I tested how many methods of this.
It was days.
It was so many days. I was so annoyed. But we finally figured out a really good method that doesn't take that long. And these are really good. And then we have some baked tortilla chips. Really easy to make these. A little bit of lime, a little bit of salt. A little bit.
You'll see it in the video. But should we show them how to make it?
If you guys want to know how to make these, I suggest you keep watching. We're going to start off with our vegan ranch kale chips. These are super easy to make, so you need a high-speed blender or a food processor. Into that, I'm adding in some cashews that I soaked, along with some filtered water, some vegan Worcestershire, nutritional yeast, onion powder, garlic powder, and some fresh lemon juice. You can also use some vinegar for this as well. And then some black pepper and salt as desired. And then just blend that together until everything is well combined. So it's not going to be smooth. We want it a little chunky just to bring some texture into the kale chips. And here I'm just scraping down the sides as best I can. And then the last step is we're going to add in some fresh herbs. And these we're only going to pulse in. And the reason we do this is because if we blend it in, the sauce might turn green and we don't want it to be that color. So we're going to set that aside and then grab your kale. And this is how we destem our kale. Basically, we're going to grip it and slide our hand up the stem, and the leaves should come off fairly easily. So transfer that to a bowl and add the sauce on top. Get every last bit. And then we're going to massage the sauce into the kale. And this is necessary as it evenly distributes the sauce better than if you were to use a spoon, and it also softens the kale and makes it easier to digest. We're going to transfer that to a baking sheet in a single layer. You may need to use 2 trays for this, and then pop it into the oven at 300 degrees Fahrenheit for 40 minutes, flipping halfway through. And then you'll have yourself some crispy, crunchy, and satisfying kale chips that make for the perfect snack.
Now it's time to make our homemade tortilla chips. This recipe is super simple and we know you'll love it. To start out, we're going to cut our tortillas into triangles. We cut ours into 4, but you can also cut them again into 8. Whichever you prefer works perfectly. And then on a lined baking sheet, we'll take our cut tortillas and we'll just line them in a single layer. You want to try to fit as many as possible on there. And then we'll just take a wedge of lime and we'll squeeze the lime juice all across the top of the tortillas. We'll top them with some salt. This will be to taste, so you can add as much or as little as you'd like. We'll just pop these in the oven and bake them at 350 degrees for about 20 minutes, flipping halfway through. And just like that, you've got your own homemade tortilla chips. They're perfectly crunchy and absolutely delicious. Can somebody pass the salsa and guac?
Next up, we're making baked vegetable chips, and for this I recommend using a mandolin. Also recommend being very careful, but we're cutting our vegetables to 1/16 of an inch thick, and it's important to cut them all uniformly just so that they bake evenly. For our chips, we're using beets, 2 types of potatoes, carrots, and zucchini. There are a wide variety of vegetables that you can use, and we have a list in our blog post linked down below if you want to check that out. Next, we're going to soak all of our veggies besides the zucchini in some cold water, and this is necessary as it prevents browning and helps it crisp up, and it also removes starch from the potatoes. And I want to note here we chose to soak the beets separately because we didn't want them to discolor the other vegetables. Once the veggies have soaked, drain them and pat them dry with a clean towel. And the beets may stain the towel, so we recommend using a dark one or one that you don't care about. Next, we're transferring the veggies to a lined baking sheet in a single layer, and here we're using a silicone baking mat, but I want to note that the beets may stain it, so if you want to avoid that, you can also use parchment paper. The last thing that's left to do is season the vegetables however you'd like, so we kept it simple and we just added some salt and pepper, but you can also add things like garlic powder, chili powder, onion powder. Whatever your heart desires, have fun with it and season these however you'd like. Pop these into an oven at 300 degrees for 15 minutes and then carefully flip all of the vegetables. I use my hands here, but you can also use tongs as well. Then we're going to pop this into the oven for another 15 to 20 minutes or so, just until they crisp up. Remove them from the oven and check to see which veggies have crisped up. So you need to keep in mind here that all of these vegetables have different makeup, so they all have different water content and they're going to crisp up at different times. So some of them will crisp up faster than the others. So just remove the ones that are already crispy, pop the pan back into the oven until everything is nice and crisp. And here you have it, some crispy baked vegetable chips that require no oil to make. We wanted to show you guys a few store-bought options for chips if you don't want to make the chips on your own. So we like this section because they got the baked chips. Here are some sweet potato chips, and then they have
No oil added.
no oil. This one's banana chips. These are really good. There's barbecue here, and there's a sea salt version. And then right here, they also have a beet chip if you are interested in beets. Ooh, that sounds really good. And then lastly, there's banana chips. These do have oil in them, but they are an option if you want to choose a gluten-free snack. And then these are toasted coconut chips. They also are an oil-free option.
And they got a bunch of flavors.
Yeah, these are really good. I love this brand. And then up here as well, this is another option. If you haven't tried siete, I highly recommend you do. So these are actually gluten-free, and you can see the ingredients back here. They are made with cassava flour. Again, these do have oil, but it is a store-bought option that's healthier than fried chips, not so healthy chips. And
A lot of corn chips wouldn't have gluten either, but
oh, that's true. Yeah. This option, so if you guys have heard of bean fields, these are basically bean and rice chips. And again, it's like a healthier option if you're looking to buy something at the store.
and they have a
These
new
are
cheddar
really
sour
good.
cream flavor that I've been dying to try.
It's not here, but check it out. Ooh, they have salt and vinegar.
Your fave. I can't do salt and
I
vinegar.
freaking love it. So if you didn't notice, I'm sitting on a chair. I don't know if you it looks weird. I can't really see that far. But
I just got really tall.
Chris just grew a lot. He's been eating healthy. You know, that's what
I'm
it
going through a
does
growth
to you.
spurt right now.
I have tendonitis in my wrist and I sprained my ankle. So I don't know if you guys follow me on Instagram, but I talked about it.
I've been carrying her up and down the stairs.
He hasn't. I can walk, but I shouldn't be putting a lot of pressure on my foot. You know what? Let's just not talk about this. That's what's going on if you guys see what's happening. Okay, let's eat the food because I am.
All right, here we go. Official taste test.
Kale chips. We have never tried these before. I'm just kidding.
I think these are the best kale chips we've ever made.
They are because
It's like-
they have substance to them.
And it's like, it honestly feels like a chip that we would buy at in a store for like a kale chip that's like $10.
Totally. The good thing about this is
That is
it's
so
affordable. It's easy to
good.
make, and it's so good.
Like you could buy a quarter of the amount for $10 that you could buy for like $3 with like your own ingredients.
I think I'm gonna eat all of these before we try the rest.
Seriously.
I based the ranch from these kale chips from our ranch dressing on our blog. And our ranch dressing actually uses sour cream and mayo, or vegan mayo. Vegan sour cream, vegan mayo, just want to clarify. And I wanted to use a whole food ingredient, so I swapped those for, did something fall? No. For cashews, and it worked really well. All right, we need to stop.
All right, vegetable chip time. So we have beets, sweet potatoes, zucchinis, and
White potatoes. Yeah, so
that crunch. These remind me of Terra chips. Do you remember Terra chips?
Terra?
I mean, you don't have to not remember them. They still
Terra
exist.
chips?
Terra, like the brand, the black bag.
oh, I've seen them. I don't know if I've tried them.
Oh, really? They look just like this.
So, with these chips, you gotta keep in mind that all the vegetables the different vegetables or different root. No, the zucchini's not roots. Different vegetables. They all have different water content, different textures, and they're all gonna cook differently in the oven. So what we found is if we bake all of the chips and then after a certain amount of time we take them out, we check them, and we remove all the ones that have become crunchy and then pop in the others that still need a little bit of more time, then they turn out more uniform that way. If you cook them all the same temperature, the same time, and then just take them out and expect them all to be crunchy, it doesn't always work. So if you want them to all be uniform, I would suggest just making beets or just making potatoes, but we thought it'd be fun to do all the vegetables and try it out. And another thing is store these in an airtight container, because if you leave them out, they start to get soggy and like
stodgy.
See how this one you can't rip it? Because we left this out overnight. But some of them are fresher, they're more crunchy.
Still good.
So yeah, and if you aren't a huge beet fan, beet chips for me are like so much easier to eat.
And you can't really taste the beatiness.
It's actually really good.
I have like a love-hate relationship with beets. Like I know they're good for you.
Some varieties or like some preparations are
really good.
And some of them I'm like, I'm eating it straight up dirt. Okay.
Here we go. We got some tortilla chips. And what's a tortilla chip without some guac?
I actually forgot to put salt and pepper in this.
It still tastes really good though.
Ooh.
Garlicky.
So these chips are super crunchy. And we did a little like Cinco de Mayo at the house, or like, it was just us two. If you guys follow us on Instagram, you probably saw them on our stories. But we wanted to make like a healthier type of Cinco de Mayo night. We didn't really do much. We just were at the store. We're like, might as well just get stuff for it.
We made kombucha, alcohol-free margaritas. It was great.
And then we had these.
We bought guac because they didn't have any ripe avocados at the store.
This is so much better.
Oh yeah.
Fresh is so much better.
Perfect. We hope you enjoyed the video. Let us know which chip you like the best. My personal favorite is the kale chip, for sure, hands down.
Yeah.
But the other two are great also, especially if you're looking for an unfried variety of potato chips or tortilla chips.
And like you saw in the clip before our outro, we actually went to the store and showed you guys some of our favorite healthier chip ideas that you can purchase from the store as well, because I know not everyone wants to make homemade chips. But these are really good options, and we are always on the hunt for healthier alternatives to what we love eating. So if any of you guys have any suggestions, leave them down below, or if you have any requests for recipes you want us to make, leave those down below as well.
And if you haven't already subscribed, hit that button, hit the bell notification too if you want notifications when we post new videos, which is every Wednesday and every Friday, sometimes Mondays too. I think that about wraps it, right? We covered all our bases.
Dip.
Watch me nom nom.
I was like waiting to do that. All right, we'll see you guys in the next one.
Peace.
Bye.